and also at a different time. But what Rabbi Lazar was sending us, Rabbi Lazar ben Pedas. Rabbi Lazar ben Pedas, he was sending to us that Rabbi said later the halacha is like Reb Meir, and that should be the accepted halacha. Okay. Shema Mina, that the halacha is like Reb Meir, that what a child does is nothing, and it's nevela, you get malchus for it, and afterwards you don't have to cover the blood, and you can shecht another animal. Now I wonder if that's actually the halacha. Looks like it is based on the source.
Okay. Kisei Dam is the only totally on a good shchita.
Yeah, that was a machlekes also Reb Shimon. Yeah, but we said that that Rebbe before Paskin like Reb Shimon by Kisei Adam, right? Reb Shimon by Kisei Adam, and by Oisev Espinoi, he Paskin like Reb Meir. Oh, so that's interesting. Because even if it's not a good shchita, but we're saying no, this is different. Nevela is different. Right. This could be nevela. This could be nevela.
So Meis is a mission first, nevela.
Yeah. Okay. The next mission: Shachat mea chayes b'makam echad. Getting into like the laws of brachas and things over here. Someone shechts 100 wild animals in one place. Kisei echad lekulan. You can do one kisei adam on all of them. Mea ifis b'makam echad. You shecht 100 birds. Kisei echad lekulan. You can do one kisei adam after you've done all of them. Kisei adam on all of them. Chaya v'if b'makam echad. Let's say shecht chaya and the oif. Kisei echad lekulan. You can also cover them all with one go. Rabbi Yehuda says shachat chaya chasen avachkach yishchet asayif. First you have to cover the wild animal, and then you can cover the bird. We'll see the reason in the Gemara. Tana Rabbanan. The rabbis taught in a brisa. It says in the pasuk, Ki yotzid seid chaya if you will hunt a wild animal, undomesticated animal or a bird, and that he can eat, then he has to cover the blood. Chaya kol mashma. Chaya sounds like the family name, the species. Chaya bein meruba bein muetis, whether it's a lot or whether it's just a few. No, it doesn't. Chaya could be a singular, but it could also be the species. It says no, it's a species. It's the species. Oif also is kol mashma. Oif bein meruba bein muet. Whether it's a lot, whether it's a few. Mikanam, or from here they say shachat mea chayes b'makam echad kisei echad lekulan mea oifes mechad b'makam echad kisei echad lekulan. Here we see that even if you shecht 100 wild animals or 100 birds, you can cover them with one go. Right. What about chaya v'if b'makam echad? That's also kisei echad lekulan. A wild animal and a bird, you can cover it with one go. Rabbi Yehuda says shachat chaya chasen avachkach yishchet asayif. First you have to cover the chaya, and then you cover the bird, and then you shech the bird and cover it. Shnemar chaya oif. There's a division there. A wild animal or a bird. Amrulai, the sages said to him, Harei Yomer, ki nefesh kol basar dami benafshihu. That's the end of the verse. Sages respond that I don't need the oy because it says ki nefesh kol basar dami benafshihu. So therefore you can cover them both together.
Go at the beginning when you said you can cover them all in one go. You mean after shechting all of them, then you do the one cover up,
right?
Which I think someone mentioned yesterday is when they OU or whenever they shecht,
they
do 100 animals. And
right.
Who said that the other day? Somebody. Yes.
I mentioned that.
You mentioned.
Ben told me he's been
an
Empire and watched them do that.
The Gemara questions. The Gemara questions
I
now.
would have referred him to this.
Maika mahadrilei. What is the statement of the Rabbanan? What do they mean? They said, oh, you don't need the oy. We have a pasuk that says ki nefesh kol basar dami benafshay. It says hachi kamri le Rabbanan. This is what the Rabbanan meant. Hay oy mi boyle lachalik. That oy is necessary just to tell me a halacha. Without that oy, the Rabbanan hold, I would have thought that when do you have to cover the blood? If you shech chaya and an oif. When you shech the wild animal and the bird. The oy is important to tell me that even if you shecht one of them, I have to cover it. The oy is not telling me that you have to cover them separately. The oy is telling me that if you shech them separately, I still have to cover the blood. Rabbi Yehuda says, lechalik, to tell me that it's done separately, midamai nafka. That I can learn from the word damai. Kisa is damai, cover the blood. Damai is singular. Plural would have been damav. Because it says damai, so I know that even one of them, chaya or oif, I have to cover. So what do I need the oif for? The oif is telling me that I cover the wild animal and the bird separately. For Rabbanan, the Rabbanan say, damai tuva mashma. Damai is a plural also. Why? The ksiv ki nefesh kol basar, because the soul of all flesh, damai benafshay, its, or his, or their blood is its soul. So I see that damai is a plural. Now this is confusing even in English. Definitely confusing in Hebrew. But sometimes we can say, we speak about a nation, or you speak about a species, and you don't know if it should be singular or plural. And in the Torah many times it says, Am Yisrael, it talks about the Jewish people, and it uses a singular pronoun for them.
Like Am Yisrael Chai.
Yeah,
That's
not Chayim, right?
It should be Chayim.
Right.
Because it's one nation.
It's one nation.
I know, that's
So here,
underneath God.
so that's an example of a confusing pronoun, an ambiguous pronoun. You don't know if it's singular or plural, because it could be the species and it could be the individual. Okay, Amar Rabbi Chanina. Rabbi Chanina says, I assume Rabbi Chanina is this early Amira, Rabbi Chanina Bar Chama, who's many times just called Rabbi Chanina. He says, Maidahaya Rabbi Yehuda that says that you have to cover the blood separately of the wild animal and then the bird, which by the way, it says wild animal first, probably because the pasuk says it first, and then the bird, Chaya Oyoif, right? Le'inyan bracha she'enim mavarech ala bracha achas. When it comes to the blessings on the shechita, that even though I shechted a wild animal, I have to stop, take dirt, and cover the blood, and then I return to shechting birds, that I don't have to say a new bracha on the shechita.
What about the kisei adam?
I said a bracha on the kisei adam, but it's not considered a hefsek for the shechita. And the shechita, the bracha on the shechita is still in place. I say a bracha ala shechita, I can go back and continue shechting.
All day, whatever.
Amalei Ravina l'Ravacha Brei Rava, v'Amila Ravacha Brei Rava l'Ravashi. Either Ravina said this, or Ravacha Brei Rava said this. The following statement. It's a question. Maishna mitalmidi de Rav. What's the difference than the story that happened with the students of Rav? We're going to bring a story where they said that you have to recite a new bracha. The Rav Bruna, Rav Chananel Talmid de Rav, Havayasir Besudasa. Rav Bruna and Rav Chananel, students of Rav, were sitting at a meal. The Koyalav Alayu Rav Yeva Sava, and Rav Yeva Sava is serving. Amrulei, they said to him, Hav Livarich, give us a cup of wine so that we can say benching. Bench on a cup of wine. That's a right. Hadar Amalei, and then they said, Hav Lishti, give us the cup of wine. We'll drink. We want to drink it before benching.
Before benching.
Yeah. So Amar Lahu, Rav Yeva Sava says to Rav Bruna and Rav Chananel, Hachi Amar Rav. The following is what Rav said. Kivan Damar Hav Livarech Yitzalei Lemishti Chamra. Once you said, Rabbi Saimer Velim benching, Havlan v'navrech. Once you say you're not allowed to drink, the meal's over. Now you're not allowed to drink. It's machlekes rishonim if it means you're not allowed to drink, or if you have to make a new bracha. So hachanami, the same thing should apply here. Kivan de itfalei lakisui, chayav le'levracha. Once you stopped and you got involved in the because over there they stopped the meal. They said, okay, now we're going to bench. Over here also, you stopped shechting, you went to do kisei adam, you should need to say a new bracha when you go back to shechita.
Yeah, but kisei adam is part of the shechita.
The Gemara says it a little different. The idea is correct, but the Gemara has like a detail in there. The Gemara says Hachi Hashta. Hold it. Hasam over there. Mishtu bruchi bahadei hadadi la yefsher. Over there, you can't drink wine and bench at the same time. It's simply impossible. Physically impossible. That you can't be swallowing and saying the bracha. So you said, let's bench. You cannot drink wine physically while you're benching. So therefore, that's considered a hefsek. That statement stopped the meal. But hacha, it's possible that you can shecht in one hand and do kisei adam in the other with the other hand, and which means that since they're both physically possible at the same time, kisei adam is not inherently a hefsek. You did it separately, but it doesn't mean that it's a hefsek, and so therefore you don't have to say a new bracha. Okay, this is a Gemara Psachim, and the Gemara over there uses it to discuss if you're allowed to, if you have to say another bracha on the second cup of wine because you said the halal in the middle. And are you?
The person davens during,
so you
during
can't,
his meal.
Right? If you daven during the meal, then that's the Taisv sin over there, and it could be it's over here as well. If you daven in the middle, if you have to say new brachas, because you can't possibly do that. We say a new bracha after benching, of course, because the benching separates the meal. You've stopped the, you've actually benched. That's a different story. By the other things, I say Bari Piragafen, then I say Kiddush. I have to say Bari Piragafen again. It's a raya to Beishamai, right? Beishamai says you have to say the bracha afterwards. You can't say Kiddush and have the Hagafen at the same time. So it must be that's considered a chelik of the bracha. That's not a... Anyway, okay, that's these Rishonim there.
Like Rav David says, it's the Kisei Adam is part of the Shechita.
Only by Chai and Oif. No, but
we're not saying that it's part. Over here, the Gemara is saying that the Kisei Adam is not a hefsek of the Shechita, and you can still do the Shechita while you're doing Kisei Adam.
Yeah, it's more than that. They're the same. It's part of the same like kind of mitzvah.
it's like part of the mitzvah, yeah.
No, it's two separate mitzvahs. You have to say two separate brachas. Two separate mitzvahs.
Yeah, if you didn't do Kisei Adam, the Shechita is still
Good, right.
Also, if you shech the behemoth, not a Oif, a Chai.
Right.
It's a separate.
Oh, specifically, I guess.
If you go to this Taisus, you'll have a lot of interesting things. If you talk in the middle of the meal.
Wow.
But since you mentioned it, the Seder, the whole